righty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening somewhere. And what we're seeing this morning, it is Fed Day. Some of the financial networks are actually running from a half hour before the announcement or an hour before the announcement, commercial free. Yeah. It is. They're that excited. It isn't. It's amazing. It's like a little shiny object. You ever see those little devices where people have cats and they shine the laser and the cat chases after it and chases after it and chases after it, and it's like, it's very. Yeah, I guess it's entertaining, but it's not. It's not the most positive thing, I guess you could say. So, anyhow, that is, it's like a shiny object. The media, anything, the one presidential candidate, the sitting vice president right now, refuses to do any interviews more than just fluff things. So, in other words, when you say, well, what's your policy? Well, when I was a young girl, that's how she starts it off and then goes nowhere. They do their best to basically not have, provide any information on how things work. Oh, here's the August housing starts. Let's see how that looks. August housing starts have come on. Let's see. So it was up. Okay. Soft numbers. 1.4 million was expected. Housing starts was 1.36 million versus 1.31 million. So, they're looking at it as interest rates. They're just nothing really going on. Housing starts showed a little life in them. That's good. We'll see. We'll see how it is in the end. But that was the housing numbers. And let's see. Let me just go take a look at the stock. Let's see, what do we got there? That's the dollar index you can see on the beta there. Let me see what they're doing to the stock market. Stock market started lifting up about 15 minutes before the news came out. So they knew that someone had released some information somewhere. We'll see how it holds up. August building permits was 1.47 million actual versus 1.41 million estimated. So you're still talking about 65,000 more building permits. So that's a good thing. 1.356 million versus 1.310. So that's 46 million starts. Yeah. I don't think that means anything particular, but, since we know that everything seems to get readjusted after the headline number going into days and weeks later, it's, they'll come out and tell us it was something else, and then they'll give us another shiny object to stare at. Pretty much what it comes down to anymore is that the administration and their labor statistics and their information statistics and sales statistics and is all shiny objects that get rechanged after the fact, and so they can get the algorithms to pop up the market, make them feel good, feel fine, that type of thing. All right, so you can see there's the beta, and we'll put this over a little bit, show you see the line right in here. Let's see if we can do this. Where's that at? Can we see that? Okay, there it is. So you see down here, we can grab a hold of this, and we can move it to match up to the big chart above. And then we can do the same thing on the weekly. Match that up. Right there. And you see that pressure, it's on it. We went into the sell here 4 days ago. This is, what are we looking at here? We're looking at the dollar index. And now we're on a fifth day of sell. And we had this odd pop, and then because we had this strength in here, and then all of a sudden it rolled back over into the sell, and the daily followed it, and now it's down. Interesting. They're talking about the tax cuts and so forth, and interest is. There you go. All right, now. All right, so that is the dollar index, and you can see this is the December contract. You can see the dollar is drifting south because again everybody believes today they're going to cut the interest rate at least a quarter, without a doubt. It's going to be a quarter. It might be a half. And then, if they show a half, then the guessing game becomes, is there a problem? And that's usually the way it works, is that all of a sudden they start to worry that there's a problem. And they think, oh, what does that mean? That they're, not only were they willing to cut a quarter, but they're willing to cut a half. Why are they so excited? Why couldn't they just start telling us how transitory interest rates are? And say, we're going to cut this quarter. We're probably easily going to cut the next one in November, and we're going to cut the next one in the end of December, and then we're going to, at least 3 times this year we'll be able to cut. And if they get the feeling that it's too fast, too soon, they get nervous. So, and that's the whole shooting match of it all now. And that is exactly it. It's making everybody nervous. Everybody's feeling nervous. So now we'll just sit back and we'll see how they play this out. Pretty much since most of these numbers don't mean anything anymore, that's the problem. And that is a real sad thing too. Janos had a webinar on it years ago, a couple of webinars on it and videos. I know I bookmarked it on one of my hard drives, and that hard drive died. And I don't do cloud things, so, Oh well, next time. So from there, let's go over and take a look at the euro itself. I'll switch it over to the other screen for the euro, right there. You see the euro is basically flat, come down off of its high of the day. Long weekly buy. So, we see that with the currencies there just kind of marching along. 10 weeks in a buy, 11th week now. It doesn't seem to want to stop. It's just very consistent. They've known for a long while that sooner or later we're going to start cutting rates. And today is the day. Hum-da-da-da. Hey, Robin. Today is the day they're going to cut those rates. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. All right. From there, we'll take a look at the cable. But traders, if you have any questions, just fire them out. We're always willing to stop and take a look at anything and everything. There's the cable. Cable's looking much stronger. You can see that. It's trying to go after that high there. I think we're the same way with the euro. Let me just look at the euro again. Not going after that high there. Interesting. So the cable itself is the stronger of the two right now. A good solid 5 weeks in a buy. And a good solid 5 days now in a buy. So, let's see, what is that? Countdown to decision. 5 hours, 21 minutes, and 29 seconds. Now 28, 27, 26 seconds, 25 seconds. They've even got countdown clocks on the financial channels at this point. It's everywhere. It is wild. It is wild. Look at the shiny object. Don't pay attention to what's going on. There it is right there, the Swiss. Swiss is in a sell for the third day. You can see that on line, where is that at? Line 44, 43 and 44, where it says USD CHF, you can see we are 16 weeks in the sell and 2 days in the sell. This is the third day. Let's get one of these reds for you. There we are. So not really going anywhere. We looked at this yesterday. I mean, that 84 area is a really tough area to start to, maybe they'll put it into the 82s and 83s, something like that. But I don't expect to see too much more than that. Yeah, just kind of cruising along. Now, that's the Swiss. And we can always give them compliments because they started fighting their inflation and they succeeded. They got it done. Now we're just waiting for the McDonald's hamburger in their capital to start going down in price, and then we know things are running right. That's the old McDonald's indicator. Let's see. Boy, you have to really give them credit. I do. I just love giving them credit for that. You see, the Nikkei, in this case here's the yen, all of a sudden made a bounce up. How about that? So yesterday, where are we at on that? On the spreadsheet? Dollar yen. Yep, pushed it into a buy. You can see that on line 41 and, 40 and 39. 39 has the symbol and 40 has the how many weeks in a sell and how many days in a buy. It was 1 day in a buy. This is the second day. And it's been 9 weeks, and that doesn't seem to be changing any. You can see there the yen just kind of hanging tight there, trying to bounce a little bit. Yeah, it's, with the way inflation has been and how now that they've unwound, or as I understand, over 75-80% of that 20 trillion is down to about 2.5-3 trillion. So that's really good. They've wiped out, the bulk of this thing. Only with about 15% left, which is fine. We have no idea how much the Fed owns it now or what. You just don't even know anymore. With quantitative easing, all this stuff is math magic, basically. Money is created out of thin air. Then the central bank buys it and parks it in another portfolio that we don't see. And done and over with. And, one of the examples, and I always use this as a good example, as I see when people recommend Citibank here in the United States. Oh, my God, Citibank looks like a buy. It says, it looks like a buy. Let's see if we can put this up on the screen. All I hear is, oh, my goodness, Citibank looks like a buy. And it's like, oh, okay. And I think to myself, okay. It's about 90% down from its all-time high. So I guess, they see something there. And it's been that way now for, 14 years? 13 years, something like that. I'll put it up over here for a second. I know I'm drifting a little bit. And you can see here's the 1 year. You look at it, they've had it up as high as almost $70. You see it hanging out around 59. And they had somebody on today about Citibank saying, Citibank looks like a good buy. And then you go to a 5-year and you look at it and go, well, yeah, it's kind of towards the low end of the range. You think to yourself, oh, I guess, those 60s and 70s. Is that the 60s? What is that? That's $79. They got it up at one point in 2020 up to almost $80. And you think to yourself, yeah, maybe it could be a good buy. And it looks like a big triangle there. Then you go to an all-time chart, and you can see what quantitative easing has done for the product. It used to be $660. I don't know how they've cut it out like that, but they have. And you can see here, the product is basically dead, just sitting there on the bottom. And they did that reverse split. And so they're over 90% off the all-time highs. And so people look at it and go, got to buy it. But we don't understand how much debt they have and what are they paying off. Because we've been told in whispers that Citibank is one of those like Lloyd's of London. It's sitting in the Fed portfolio that no one can see and the Fed refuses to share with. And so a lot of these things are in there. There's Lehman bonds in there, and there's Merrill Lynch bonds in there, and there's Bear Stearns bonds in there, and Santander bonds, and keep on going. Bank of Scotland bonds are in there. So it's always something to be cautious about. Always look at a product when they tell you, oh my God, it's so cheap right now. Go look at its all-time high and all-time low. When you look at it this way, you look and you go, oof, what happened there? What malfunction occurred? Well, you see they were running up in the 90s, doing fine. Got up into the 660-ish area. Fell off going into 2001 during the internet bubble. Climbed up again. And then, the collateralized debt obligation, Mr. Obama universe occurred. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Hollywood! There it is right there. And it's just, boom, done. Done. So, 2008, crash, bang. And it's always well worth paying attention to. At least in my head it is. All right. From the yen, we'll go over to one of those the same way, the Turkish lira. There's the Turkish lira. Firming up a little bit here, nothing major. 3 days now on the daily buy. Let's get a green over there. Let's find a green. Must be a green we can squeeze out. There, let's take this green. There it is right there. 3 days in the buy. What is it on the spreadsheet? That is line 49 and 50. 19 weeks in the buy. And when you take a look at the 2008 or 2010, number, the product is trading at basically par, 1.0. Nowadays it trades at 37.9. It's going up 40-fold, or 20-fold, I guess you could say. 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32. And no more than 2.5 weeks ago, we got up to 40 and change. We've been looking for a move to the low 40s, 41, 42 area. So I guess that's it for the time being. We'll see. But unfortunately, it's always well worth watching what the all-time high is, the all-time low. It's something to definitely keep track of. Never ignore these things because they will give you the warning sign if you're dealing with something that might have more issues than what you see on the surface. All right, from there, we go to South Africa and see how they're doing with the currency today. Look at that. I mean, they're doing their best. They're trying to do that 17.5, and it is a wall. What is that? I mean, it's like it is the floor, not the wall. It's a floor. Maybe we'll see 17. You would think we would with all this action, how they bounce off of it all the time of 17.5. I guess you call it a group government now of the ANC, the Conservative African Party, and the old the Afrikaners Party is connected now with the ANC. They've had to do that to have a functioning government, and Zulu Nation is joined with them, the three of them, and I think there's a fourth one there too. And it's that they're trying to a coalition government, I think they refer to it as. So we're watching, when the South African rand is going down, it's gaining against the dollar. And when it's going up, it's losing against the dollar. So obviously it's gaining against the dollar. You can see that as I take a sip of my tea. So you can see that without a doubt. It is gaining against the dollar. Excuse me, fighting a little cold here. So, gold we'll go over and take a peek at the gold and see how that looks. I know that at one point today it was heading down, and then it turned around and started to head back up again. And you can see it right there. Now it's back underneath again. It keeps on vacillating back and forth. I'm just going to leave that over here parked right there. You can see the weekly has been in a long weekly trend. Let's show it to you on the spreadsheet. There it is, line 11. 11 weeks in a buy and 1 day in a sell. If interest rates do come down a half, I guess you could say they already have it in the market. In other words, it's already priced in. And if they give us a quarter point, well, I guess I could tell you speculatively what I think, money managers will be talking about. I think they'll be happy if they give them a quarter point break and then just, and verbalize the fact that they'll wait for the next meeting and possibly be more aggressive, which means a half. And then this way it doesn't look so political. There's no doubt that they need it. The problem is that they've done so many bad political things as a Federal Reserve at this point. The bigger question is, do they want to do just one more, or are they going to finally say, no mas, no more? Let's just let the markets move themselves, because everybody's singing the song now: free puts, free puts, free puts. That's not exactly something they want to hear people talk about. Powell gets mildly upset when someone is saying something like free puts, free puts, free puts. And then let's see what it looks like on the beta. There it is right there. And let's put it up on the screen for you. Now, I'm not sure what the malfunction is there. That's 17. That's yesterday. Now, today they're showing, what it is that the contract's being shifted. So that's really got things confused a little bit here. So not until the markets really open up will we see a better read on this product. You can see the pressure on it right there, 2 days in a sell. And you can see the weekly buy was in and out over that 11 weeks. You can see where it, ran up, went into a sell. What was that? That was, let's give that a spin. There it is right there. That is July 26th. So July 26th is right up in here in this top. There's July 28th. There's the 24th. It goes into that cell there. Let's see what this says. There's July 20 at the end of that week. So it was July 21st. We go into the cell right there. I guess the 22nd. And, it's pressured down with that weekly sell going into the second week. And then finally at September 9th. Is that September? 08. No, it's August 9th. August 9th, that's the end of the week, so August 5th. Let's see, August 5th. There it is right there. It starts to climb back into that buy again. Then by the 8th, it does it and starts to take off. That's that buy right there on the 9th. And let's see if we can find August 9th there. There it is right there. We're in daily buy, so we can move this over. So you can see it underneath it, like so. It's like right there. Goes into buy there on the 8th. There is the 8th right there in a buy. That's why it's so much fun not to just push a button, but to actually be able to control it. And you can look at it closer and try to understand it better, see the nuances of the algorithms, see how they work. How they play, how they, participate with each other. Huh. How about that? Diddy having issues. Some crazy stuff. All right, and that is the gold. Let's take a look at silver. There's silver. Same situation, trying to climb. You see it's flirting with a sell there today. There's the... let's just give that a spin. When is it a buy there on the 11th? Right there. We had to wait for the green to kick out, and it jumped. And we're in that weekly buy for 2 weeks. And you can see we are 5 out of 6 weeks in a buy. So the pressure has been on the beta, giving us very clean. It's more sensitive, the beta, which is fine with me. It shows us, in other words, there's times where it says, okay, just hold on. And then the daily jumps in and tells you, okay, be neutral. In this case here, there's less neutrals, much more clearer direction. And that's the silver. And the silver, where is the silver nowadays? Silver is, I guess it's like at the $32 area. Let's just take a look and see. Yeah, 31. They got up as high as 31.35. There is 31.37. And today it's sitting at basically 31 or 30.97.5. A little pressure there. And you can see there's the 5, is it 5? Yeah, 5 weeks in a buy. But whereas the beta gives you great warning about this move coming. 3 weeks back, the let's see, where's it at? Yeah, the old platform does not. Let's just show you that. It does not. See, it just stays in that buy. And then it gets, but it's in a sell daily, so that's okay. It just keeps you neutral, but the beta allows you to participate a little bit more, which is really nice. So in other words, you can see here on the what's that, 8:30. 8:30. Where's 8:30? 8:30. I guess it's like right there. There it is, right there. Gives you that sell signal. Let's move this over. I think it's 8:30, like around there. In here somewhere, right in there, I guess it is. That's 8:20. There's 8:28. There's 8:30. And since it's in the weekly sell down that period, you can try to catch this ride, and it's a win. Whereas on the old platform, you have to just be neutral. In this case here, it says, hey, you can be short, which is nice. And that's why it's a beta. We're learning. We're watching and learning now that this has finally been full functional now for 3 days, I guess you could say. Since Monday morning, we finally have this thing running. So after a year and a half, it's finally running. And there'll be some more tightening ups, but overall, it's very positive as far as I'm concerned. Matter of fact, which is interesting, is you can see the fast was in a weekly sell throughout, I guess, like from 726. So I guess right up in here. So it went into the weekly sell that week in here. And for a couple of weeks it was constantly pressing down on the fast. And the fast is still took a while for it to get back into that buy finally. And when it takes out the green like that, usually there's a lot of strength to come, and sure enough, you can see that strength right there it just zipped. Shows good life here. So there's a lot of nice nuance on the beta. A lot of tools there that you can appreciate. And we'll just keep on monitoring it and let people use it for free for a while, and we'll learn from there. In other words, free markets, free people. All right. From there, we jump over to copper. And there's the copper. And you can see right there. Strength on the short term, daily, weekly strength. It's been oscillating back and forth. I guess we'll have to put that into the system too. See how that goes. That's not a bad idea. We'll put the HG in that system too. And we have some grains in there. We'll need to put some feeders in there. See what we can do with all of them. All right. So from here, we take a look at platinum. Right there. Platinum's trying to go into the sell today. It's been in that weekly buy for just 2+ weeks. Fighting with itself overall. Yeah, 2 weeks. This is the second week, and it caved in over here within a daily sell a long time on this side. Now it's back into the daily buy there, and then finally I guess you could say we're flirting. We're playing with the daily sell at this point. The daily sell. All right, and then from there, let's see, what do we have from there? That's it. That's the metals market. Now we can go take a look at the energy sector. Yeah, there it is right there. There it is, and you see here, crude oil is 4 weeks in a sell. Pressure is on. It's been a daily buy for the last 4 days, trying to keep, protect you from being short. It's a neutral now. And then when we go over and look at Brent, there's Brent. Brent has that same thing going on, 4 days in a buy and 4 solid weeks in a sell. The energy side, I saw an interesting headline today. It's the mechanics side of it all. Something about the strategic reserve is crying they don't have money to buy oil. They only have $800 some odd million. And it's like, okay. What did they do with the money? I mean, they've sold it. They sold over 160 million barrels. Where is that money? Why can't they use that money to buy 160 million barrels back at I think they started selling it in the 60s and 70s and 80s so they could buy it back there. But they're crying that they don't have it. They only have $864 million, not a billion. So, it's a very dysfunctional government. You can tell that from the vice president and the president, where they won't give you any information. It's very strange. All right. Then from there, we go over and take a look at nat gas. And there's nat gas, where it pushed, it's still in a buy. Still in a buy, up around the $2.30 area. You can see that. You can see 3 weeks in a buy coming up from the teens, 215, 216, 214 area, something like that. Excuse me. So there's pressure on the natural gas. Mr. Trump wins. I would imagine that natural gas will stay up here like this, and we'll watch it. Speaking of which, that means we can get that Spanish company again. That's something I forgot. With the new platform, we can go hunt down the Spanish energy company. Oh man, I forgot all about that. I really missed looking at that. I thought that was really great. Let's see if we can find that, because that was really great. We were able to find the natural gas in Spain for a while there. We could, it was great. There, it was. Let's see, natural gas company in Spain. Not that one. Well, we're going to have to search that out. Screeners, watch list, calendar, stocks, currencies. This is interesting. Yeah, I forgot all about that. I have to write a note to myself to go hunt that down, because this way we can see how Europe is faring. Last I remember, we were in like the 25 or 26 or $27 area, and a Spanish energy company. I wish I had written that down. Spanish energy stock in Spain. All right. Let's try that. Let's see what that says. Let's see, what do we got here? Again, they gave me a couple different ones I can go look at. This is pretty cool. We'll have to check these out. I will just put that down at the bottom, and we'll go after that after the webinar's over with. But yeah, that's nice. All right, so we did. Let's go take a look at the heating oil. Heating oil, just as it was starting to get some life into it, I think it just rolled over again. Yeah, went into the buy there yesterday. You see that. Trying to dip a little bit today. Still in that weekly sell from the 235, 240 area. We've drifted down to 205. And this is, the energy. Oh, there we go. Titus, how you doing? Yeah, this is an energy product that is used for airplanes, to fuel airplanes, fuel trucks, and diesel cars, and heat homes here in the United States. So definitely well worth watching. You can see it's down off of the $3 area. So it's not exactly hesitating, is it? It seems to be very clear, telling us don't worry. Yeah, very interesting. All right. What else is there? I'm just going to take a look at one of these energy stocks. Let's see, where's that at? It gave me a bunch of them. Huh. NTGY. Let's see what that looks like. NTGY. Let's see what that says. It's trading at 22.5 pounds. Let's see what a 1 year looks like. That could be it. That could be it. It didn't get into the 30s, but it's close. It did get down into the 21 or 19. Let's see if we can get this energy company up on the screen. This would be fun. What's the name of it? Let's see. Guess I got to go backwards. Let's see. Yeah, it has that look to it. Like this could be the one we were watching or something close to it. Let's see. It's a moderate sell. I like that. You can be a moderate sell. Natural Energy SA Group. I think that's what we were looking at. Let's see if we can get that up on the screen. Let's try that. Paste. It doesn't look like the symbol, but we'll try it. Alright, we're going to put that in there. And we'll be able to get a flavor. And you'll be able to see that it's been coming down. See, boy, I'll tell you, we lost that from the old beta. See, products. And we're going to add that product. Put that symbol in. Paste. Create. And then user me, and there it is right there. There we are. Then we go and do this. There we are. Let's see if we can get it up on the screen. There it is. Excellent. Let's show you what that looks like. Wow. Okay, so maybe they did a split or something like that. You know, did something. There was in the 28s. No, that's not the 28s. It's the 24s. Then they had some major gap down in June after we lost the beta there. And it's been climbing up ever since. And you can see it's been in a weekly buy throughout most of that. Actually, which is interesting is you see the last 2 weeks we're in sells. And the last 3 days we're in a sell. And the last two have been, there was your sell right there. And it was an instant gratification today. So, not bad. And that's, I'm not sure what gap, maybe it was a dividend or earnings or something like that. And I think we saw this product way up in the, where was it? At one point, it was in the 31 area. So, that's pretty impressive. You know, we've seen it drop down. Love to see this thing stay. It seems like it's staying, you know, $20 area with the natural gas trading at 2.35 makes sense, you know, and now it's up to the, was it the 2.5 area? Yeah, it was at 222, I'm sorry. Yeah, not bad. And it got down as low as 19 and change, just underneath it. So that's not too bad. And then when you go and look at the, let's see, now that's heating oil. Let's put up natural gas again. On the other chart, we'll go back and forth and show it to you. Natural gas right there. You see it's been doing that climbing thing there. Let's see if we can show it to you. Right there. And it seemed to top out here in the, what is that? That's the June area, right? Yeah, June. And that's the same thing right here where there's this massive drop from 24 down to 20. Not sure what that's all about, but we'll have to look that up and see if we can learn more about it. You can see maybe it's a real estate investment trust, and maybe they put out a lot, you know, a big dividend or something like that. That could be it. No, it looks like we have a Spanish oil energy company we can follow. Because it's been very hard to follow the energy in Europe itself. You know, it's very, you know, Janos is trying to get Ducascapi to possibly start their own futures contract. Makes it hard, that's for sure. You know, these are complicated things. Make access. I like that TSLY they have for Tesla, where it's like a buy right thing, and so when the stock is going up, it goes up and it pays a nice dividend, and when it's going down, It still pays the dividend because you're selling calls against it, but you're losing the equity of it. And it fluctuates back and forth. Let's see if we can show you that. That'd be a fun tool to have. Let's go see if we can get it on the screen here. So you end up taking the call premium in. Let's see, TSLY. Right there. Let's put that up on the screen. That's it. What that is it's trading at, where is it at now? So you can see right there today is at $13. It gets up to like $17, $15, $16, $17 there. And they sell calls. So they're long the stock. It's like a fund that's long the stock, and they sell calls. So they can pass the calls along to you. So it's like it never expires, and you're taking in the call premium. At the same time, it's a buy right. So, you feel it, when it goes down. And then, let's see if we can get the Tesla on there. Right there, there's Tesla. So like right there, the stock is trading at $241, and then drifts all the way down to $182 from $40. Actually, it's saying the high is $271 right there. So it drops almost like $100, $89. And then when you look at the that same time period, remember, it's paying like a dividend all the time to you at the same time. Let's see, where's it at? Like this. That would be great if they would do something like that with an energy product, TSLY. There it is right there again. So you can see here, there we go. So it was up to like 15 and a quarter, 15.42 when Tesla was trading at 271. And it falls all the way down to $11 when it goes and takes out the lows in the same time period, but still paying a really great dividend. It's something to think about, It's a little bit more of a challenge because, people need that energy. That's the most important thing. And so it makes it a real tough situation. If you own the natural gas, you have to deliver the natural gas. But if you're selling, and the calls could really explode. But as long as you're long always natural gas, or long the futures contract, if you do the futures contract, always long that, sell the calls, and then you have this perpetuating little dividend type thing, and you're able to play the long side. This is a way of playing the long side really cheap for Tesla. So you can do 100 shares and, gets down in here in the 11s. And before you know it, it's back up to the 13s. Down here was a great one. Gets down a little underneath $10. And then moves back up again to $15. You're talking about, and at the same time period, let's just take a look at that with the Tesla. It just shows you the relationship right there. So the stock goes down to $142. And climbs to $271, so it's like $130 move. That's about it's about 100% move. The option device gives you a 50% return, not bad. And it's just cheaper. And if you do the Vega, in other words, you take a look at a stock. like 100 shares of Tesla, and then that's what you buy in dollar terms in the TSLY. It could be a little bit more profitable. Because you're talking about more multiple times, whereas it's like 100 shares of Tesla, and it might be, where's a calculator? Let's see if I can show you that. I think that's an interesting way of looking at it. I like the idea of looking at things like that. That's it's a really positive thing. There it is. There's the calculator. Let's see what it says. It's definitely something to think about, Energy is politicized in Europe. Oh, excuse me. Big time. Big time. Yes, it is. So 142 times 100 is 14,200. Now, you take that 142 again, and you divide it by 9. Let's try that one more time. 142 divided by 9 equals basically 16 shares. So 16 times 9 is $169. So it's just a little bit underneath the Vega. So it's like, so what did I say, 9? So 8. 8 times, let's try that. 8 times $10. Let's see. That's 80. And then, and you need to, so it's like 11 times 10, or is it 9 and change? It was like 10, really. So times 10 is 110. So 12 times 10 is 120. See, 14 times. So 14. So you'd have 1,400 shares if you did the same exact thing. And 1,400 shares gaining 50% versus 100% on 100 shares. And so it's a bigger winner with the same amount of risk as buying 100 shares of Tesla. That's pretty cool. Yeah, energy is totally politicized in Europe because, the Green parties have had so much influence. I just saw something this morning. I think I'm going to show you this. And normally I don't get a chance to show it to you because I talk about it and it's never seen. But I want to show you what the environmental movement across the planet does with the NASA temperature charts. Let's see if we can put this up on there. I see right there. Let's see what we got here. Let's move this over here first. Let's move over to the natural gas. I think this is fascinating. Totally fascinating. Not there. Right there. I'm going to just do this, and then I'm going to speed it up so you can see. And you can see how criminal it is. It's amazing. And the only word to use is criminal. And it really blows my mind. And I see it every month. It comes out in the middle of the month. And it's like, and they, it's
you're
like,
wasting tons
you can't
of money
stop
on
it because of
deodorant.
free speech
Stop
here in the United
Did you know
States.
deodorants don't actually stop sweat? Deodorants
And then the national media hides it. All right, now I'm going to show you the NASA chart.
Good morning, folks.
Right there.
Let's now take a quick
this
look
is
at the
the
climate
NASA
report.
chart.
As with every...
Right? Is that it? I think that's it. Let's see if we can move this over. Where's it at? Yeah, so this is the NASA. This is the environmental chart, okay? I'm going to put it up on the screen here. This is why your prices are so insane. Look at the way the NASA chart. This is the land ocean temperature percentiles, August 24th by NOAA National, okay? Now, this is from NASA, okay? But what they've done is I'm going to show you what NASA puts out, the original that was put out the same day. There it is right there. So see all the blue here? It's actually colder, not warmer. But they go and do this. Let me just go like that. See all that red they put in it? All this red here and red there and red everywhere. You can see just a little blue here, just a little blue here, just a patch, and a small patch there in South America. And then But this is, you know what I should do is I'm going to do them side by side. That's what I'm going to do. And then this is, you're going to see this, and you can see the ridiculousness, and this is why you pay higher costs of energy in Europe. I mean, that's the reason why. Right there. Right there. There it is. All right, so I move this over like that. Let's see, go like this. There's that one. And then there is that one. That's the same map. This is the environmental movement. Puts this map out. This one right here on the left. And this is the one from NASA on the right. Okay? So they take the NASA map, they paint it red, which means hot, hot, hot. And you can see, to a great extent, it's more cool all along here in the southern hemisphere. You can see this all right in here. You see that right there. And you can see the big difference of the two. This is the same map. They do this every month. I've seen this for years. They do that. So, it's just absurd. There it is right there again. You can see, look at all that red in here on the left one, over here on the right one. No, and so there's actually more blue, but they really cut it out. You can see over here where it's white, that's blue on the NASA map. So that's why you're paying more for energy, because they're faking it. They fake the numbers. That's what it comes down to. They're just flat out faking the numbers, and it's no stopping them. They just do it every month. They pretend that the world is getting hotter when it's not. That's what it does. And so it's just that's why you're paying high energy prices, because they're faking it. So, all right, traders, we're out of here. Let's got to give a title. I did get around to trying to sign up for the WhatsApp on this phone, and I'm going to take another shot at it again today. So the title today is, put the title on here down at the bottom, and maybe tomorrow I'll have it working right. And let's see, what should we call today? Oh, what's this? Okay. And then, here it is. Let's see. Today's title will be, let's see. I think it's going to be a quarter point, so I'm just going to say it. Quarter point, not a half. There we go. It does something. Let's see. Better yet, we should say something like lower rates does something. There we are. Lower rates does something. That's the title today. All right, traders, we're out of here. This is Doc saying happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders.